Hi and hello everyone. Hope you are safe and healthy. Stay safe, stay healthy. What is today's topic is Le Chatelier's principle. Okay, I hope you very well know about what is equilibrium reaction is, but do you know when the reaction goes right side or when the reaction goes left side in an equilibrium reaction? Don't worry, I'll let you know about this in 10 minutes by using Le Chatelier's principle. Le Chatelier is a French chemist who proposed a principle for the chemists and chemical engineers to undergo the uh, industrial production of chemicals. Let's say this is very useful in Haber process of ammonia, like that. Okay, the principle states that if the dynamic equilibrium is disturbed by the changing the conditions, the position of equilibrium shifts to counteract the change to re-establish an equilibrium. Okay, what is dynamic equilibrium? Dynamic equilibrium is nothing but the rate of reactant and the rate of product is same. Okay, so this Le Chatelier principle states that if the dynamic equilibrium is disturbed by changing conditions, what are those conditions? The conditions such as temperature, pressure, concentration of reactants and products, addition of inert gases, and etc. Okay. Um, Out of these, uh, whatever is disturbing the equilibrium, the position of the equilibrium react in a way to counteract that. Okay, to re-establish the equilibrium again. Okay, so the main game changers of equilibrium is temperature, pressure and concentration of reactant or product. Okay, let's go go into detail about one by one. First one is temperature. If we increase the temperature, the equilibrium shifts in a way to reduce the temperature again. So again, it will maintain the equilibrium. It wants to maintain the equilibrium, so it shifts in a way to reduce the temperature. Let's take this example. A plus B gives C plus D. Okay, this is an exothermic reaction. The formation of C plus D is an exothermic reaction, which means it needs heat. It evolves heat to give the product. Okay, the enthalpy change of this reaction, formation of C plus D, this reaction is minus 40 kilojoule per mole, which means it needs 40 kilojoule per mole to give the product. Okay, and the reversible reaction, that is C plus D gives A plus B, is an endothermic reaction, right? So let's see what happens in this reaction. If we increase the temperature of this reaction, the reaction shifts towards left to give more reactant, so that it can absorb more heat, which can reduce the temperature. Okay, if we decrease the temperature, the real equilibrium shifts towards right to increase the temperature. In any way, it wants to maintain the equilibrium, right? The reaction wants to maintain the equilibrium. In short, to be clear, let's see. In short, in a dynamic equilibrium, if we increase the temperature, okay, if we increase the temperature, the equilibrium favors the endothermic reaction. Okay, so that it can maintain, the temperature, because if we increase the temperature, it undergoes endothermic reaction, so it just decrease the temperature. Okay, so by observing the changes, it counteract to that change. Okay, In the similar way, if we decrease the temperature, the equilibrium favors to endothermic reaction, okay, to increase the temperature. Let's say for this reaction, 2SO2 plus O2 gives 2SO3 plus heat. This is again a exothermic reaction. This is in contact process for the formation of sulfur dioxide. In this case, increase in temperature will favors the formation of reactant. Okay, will favors the formation of endothermic reaction to form the reactant. In the similar way, if we decrease the temperature, it favors the formation of product so that it can maintain the temperature of the whole process. Yeah, this is uh, this is an example of Le Chatelier principle. Just think about it. If you have uh, a reaction like P plus Q gives R plus S, which is having a delta enthalpy change of minus 200 kilojoule per mole, the reaction occurs at 300 degrees Celsius. You want to increase the temperature up to 500. Okay, to 500 degrees Celsius you want to increase. You need to increase. Okay, how the equilibrium reacts? Okay, let's say you are touching the reaction vessel. It is highly unrecommendable, but for an hypothetical condition I'm saying this. Okay, hypothetical situation I'm saying this. If you are touching the reaction vessel, how you will feel? It will be hotter or colder? Think about it. Think about it. Okay, then the second game changer is pressure, of course. It is true, right? If we increase the pressure, the volume will get decreased. Let's see this diagram. If we increase the pressure, if you are giving the pressure to the piston, like if you are giving some pressure to the reaction vessel, the molecules will feel more pressurized, right? So it means it leads to decrease in volume. So the equilibrium shifts in a way to favor the side of the reaction that involves fewer moles of gas. Okay, if let's say in your class you are 100 students, so if you, in 100 students in one small classroom will feel more hot, right? So you will feel like somebody should stand outside so that you can feel the people in the class will feel some relaxed, right? So in the similar way, the equilibrium will shift towards the fewer number of molecules. Okay, what in the case if we are having the reactant side and as well as the product side having the same number of molecules? Let's say A plus B gives C plus D. Okay, both the sides, the reactant and as well as the product, are in same in number. Okay, so in that case the equilibrium will not change. Okay, there is no effect in equilibrium on product formation. Okay, in that case the delta n is nothing but total number of products minus the total number of reactants, um, will is 0. So the equilibrium will not shift. Okay, it maintains the equilibrium. What if the delta n is greater than 0 or delta n is less than 0? Let's take delta n is greater than 0, that is a positive value where um, number of products in the in the product side is high. Number of moles in the product side is high. So let's take this reaction, PCl5 dissociation. PCl5 gives PCl3 plus Cl2 upon dissociation. So increase in pressure in this case will decrease the formation of product. Why? In the product there are more number of molecules, right? So the equilibrium shifts towards left hand side to give the reactant. Okay, it affects the product formation. Come to second case, where it is a very familiar reaction. This is a Haber process for yeah, it is used to create produce ammonia in for industrial purposes. In this case, N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. In this case, number of moles of products is 2, and the number of moles of reactant is 4. So delta N is less than 0. If we increase the pressure, will increase the product formation, right? It goes to full number of molecules. So it increases the product formation. The equilibrium shifts to right hand side, right? Then what is the concentration effect on equilibrium? By Le principle, if we increase the concentration of the reactant, the equilibrium shifts towards the right to increase the product. Okay. If we increase the concentration of reactant, the equilibrium shift to the right. Okay, it gives more product. Okay, so that it can reduce the reactant side to maintain the equilibrium. In similar way, if we increase the concentration of the product, the equilibrium shift towards left to give more reactants. Yeah. What about if you are removing the reactants, or if you are adding the products in any equilibrium reaction? Think about it. We will see it in the next class. In a nutshell, to sum up whatever I taught in this class, the Le Chatelier states that if the change in equilibrium conditions, that equilibrium adjusts the forward and backward reaction in such a way to accept the changes. Accepting the changes is stated by the Le Chatelier. That is life, right? Accepting the changes. So addition of heat to the reaction favors endothermic, and the reduction of heat, decreasing of temperature, favors exothermic. Yeah. Increase in pressure shift towards the fewer number of molecules, and converse is also true. Okay. If we decrease the concentration of the substance, shift in a way towards the substance. If you are decreasing the substance, the equilibrium act in a way to increase that substance. So it will react towards that substance. Okay. To tell the drawbacks of Le Chatelier principle, Le Chatelier principle does just explain the way of the reaction goes. Okay. Uh, he didn't explain why that happens. Okay, it's very useful. Le Chatelier principle is very useful in industrial nowadays, in industrial productions, but he didn't explain why this is happening. Okay, we'll see why this is happening in next class. Till that, stay safe, stay healthy. See you in next class.